was overjoyed looking at the bag of gold. He couldn't begin thinking about how his life was about to change. Back home, his wife sat worrying about how she would manage buying the essentials to last until Janta curfew and the lockdown was over, for they could barely buy a meal for the day. Just then, Sindbad the potter walked in home with his bag of gold. He told his wife all about the gold. She was overjoyed. They looked at the time. The markets were about to shut, and so off they went to the market to buy just a few essentials to last for a week's time, for they didn't want to panic buy and hoard things. They went about shopping for some milk, for some curd, for some rice, for some dal, and as his wife was shopping, Sindbad the potter saw a beautiful red stole. He looked at it and he thought he could probably wear this with his new black kurta for dinner tomorrow at Sindbad the Sailor's house. And he bought himself that red stole. That was the first time that he was buying something for himself. The couple got back home, had a nice dinner, and had a good night's sleep. Next day, Sindbad the potter got ready to go for the dinner at the Sindbad the Sailor's house. He wore his stole and he looked at himself in the mirror to see how it went well with his black kurta. And just then, a thought crossed his mind. He thought, what would have Sindbad done if after his first voyage, he would have had to stay back home due to coronavirus? Can you imagine? I mean, just imagine. If Sindbad had to stay back home, what would he do? I'm sure he would have died of boredom or lamented all day through about missing some or the other adventure. Anyway, with all these thoughts running in his head, Sindbad the potter got ready and off he went to the palace of Sindbad the Sailor. The guests had already begun to arrive. Sindbad the Sailor greeted everybody and they all sat around the table. There was a lavish, delicious spread of food and everybody enjoyed it to the last morsel. And just after the dinner, Sindbad the Sailor narrated his second voyage. अभी वो अपने पहले सफर से लौटा ही था that the travel bug began tickling him. He couldn't stay home any longer. He could hear the sea call out to him, Sindbad, oh Sindbad, where are you? Oh Sindbad. Sindbad couldn't control himself anymore. So he quickly went to the market, bought some goods that he intended to trade, noted down some places that he wanted to visit, found a ship, found some like-minded merchants, put on his favorite scarf, and off he went on his second voyage, merrily singing, हवा के साथ साथ घटा के संग संग, हवा के साथ साथ घटा के संग संग, ओ साथी चल मुझे लेके साथ चल तू, ले हाथों में हाथ चल तू, यूं ही दिन रात चल तू, संभल ये जहाज चल तू, ओ साथी चल, साथी चल, साथी चल, साथी चल, ओ साथी चल। ऐसे ही गाते बजाते मस्ती में सिंदबाद और उसके दोस्त तैरते गए और तैरते गए। And soon they spotted a beautiful island, an island that was beyond anything that he had ever seen. It had beautiful tall trees and lush green plants with sweet smelling flowers and fruits. with the birds chirping around and small streams gurgling by. The captain anchored the ship soon and everybody got on shore. Sindbad got out of the ship. He looked around. But there was something strange. A beautiful island like this and no houses or people? That was really strange. Actually, on second thoughts, I feel that is why the island was still beautiful. For if there were people, then all that Sindbad would have seen was an island strewn with plastic and waste. So good that there was no people on that island. So as his friends went about looking at the island, Sindbad found a nice spot by the little stream under the shady tree and he fell asleep. थोड़ी देर बाद जब उसकी नींद खुली तो उसने देखा कि उसके सारे दोस्त उस टापू से चले गए और तो और जहाज भी नहीं दिख रहा था। अब सिंदबाद परेशान हो गया। उसे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि क्या करे। वो इधर भागा, वो उधर भागा, चिल्लाते गया, अरे सुनो कोई है, सुनो, अरे कोई है। लेकिन कोई नहीं था। उसकी मदद करने के लिए वहां कोई नहीं था। उसे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था कि वो करे तो क्या करे। वो पास के एक पत्थर के ऊपर जाके बैठ गया और तभी उसके सामने एक बड़ा सा पेड़ दिखा। वो झट से उस पेड़ के ऊपर चढ़ गया और समुद्र की ओर देखने लगा, इस उम्मीद में कि कोई आता जाता जहाज उसे देखे और उसकी मदद के लिए आए। But there was no hope. He couldn't find anything. He couldn't find any ship in the sea. So he turned and he looked towards the island. And there he found something big, something white. He got curious. He wondered, what could this be? It couldn't be an egg. It was too big to be an egg. But Sindbad wanted to go and find out what that thing was. So he quickly climbed down the tree and he ran towards the object. The closer he got, the bigger the object became. The closer he went, the bigger the object was. And finally, he stood right in front of the object. He looked at the object with disbelief. He touched the object. It was silky smooth and soft. It was beautifully white. He went around the object trying to see if there was some opening, but there was none. The sun had already begun to set. And Sindbad stood there wondering what this object could probably be. And just then, it suddenly turned dark. Sindbad looked up, and all he could see was a big, black, cloud-like thing flying from up above the sky, coming closer and closer and closer. And Sindbad continued to look at it until it reached right above his head. And that's when he realized that it was a bird. The biggest, largest bird in the world. The rock. Yes, he had heard stories about the rock. Why didn't he think of it before? The bird landed onto the ground and took its wings and wrapped around the white object. And that's when Sindbad realized that the white, beautiful object was the egg of this big bird. Sindbad quickly thought of an idea. He took out his scarf and tied himself to the feet of the bird. He hoped that next morning when the bird would fly, he would fly along with the bird and escape from this island. And just as he had planned, the next day, when the sun rose, the bird began to flap its wings faster and faster and faster and faster, and off she went into the sky, rising higher and higher and higher over the mountains and beyond the clouds. The bird flew higher and higher, and Sindbad hung there, tied up to the bird's feet. He loved the view from right up above the sky. But just as he was enjoying the view, the bird decided to sweep down and land on the ground. Sindbad quickly unfastened his scarf and freed himself from the bird. And as he did that, he saw the bird attack a snake and fly away into the sky. Sindbad was now happy that he finally escaped from that island. Oh wait, was he actually happy? He looked around. No, he wasn't happy because he was in a deep, narrow, dark valley with cliff surrounding all around. The cliffs were tall and steep. No one could even think of climbing it. But Sindbad was not somebody who would give up so easily, so he decided to walk through the valley to find a way to get out of this place. And as he walked up and down and up and down, he saw something there. Something that was shining, lying on the ground. So he went closer and he picked up the object and he looked. And it was a diamond. Sindbad was overjoyed. And he looked around and realized that this island is actually strewn around with diamonds. He couldn't have got luckier than this, he thought. Just then, he heard a sound from right behind the rock there. So he slowly went behind the rock and looked underneath, and appeared a snake. Sindbad was scared. He jumped back. He didn't know that there were snakes on this island. He looked carefully and he saw that behind every rock there were snakes all around. This island was not just strewn with diamonds, but it was also a pit of snakes. Snakes of all sizes, long and short, and the shortest of snake could actually swallow an elephant. But Sindbad was thankful that during the day the snakes remained under the stone because they were scared of being caught by Rock, the bird. The sun had soon begun to set, and Sindbad was really tired for the day. He looked for a small cave and sneaked into it. He laid up stones at the mouth of the cave and covered it. He quickly grabbed some bite that he was carrying with him, and he stretched himself onto the ground to rest. But he realized that he was not alone in the cave. He had some creepy, crawly creatures to give him company. Sindbad was scared. He lay still. He didn't move, just the breath going in, out, in and out of him. He lay there still praying all night for the morning to soon come up. And he stayed there still, feeling all the creepies and crawlies moving all around him and hissing through the night. He doesn't know how long he lay there, but after long hours of wait, he realized that the hissing had finally stopped. And he saw a thin ray of light fall into the cave. Sindbad was finally relaxed. He was thankful that he was still alive. It was a big thing to spend a whole night with all those creepies and crawlies. So he moved the stones from the cave and he walked out of the cave and he saw that the sun was actually shining right above his head, bright and hot. It wasn't morning, it was afternoon. Sindbad was hungry and he was thirsty. So he set out looking for a drop of water to drink or something to eat, maybe some wild fruit, something that he could eat, something that he could drink to quench his thirst. But he found nothing. He walked up and down and up and down and up and down the valley, but he found nothing. Finally, he was tired. He was sweating and he was thirsty. He just gave up and plunked onto the rock nearby. And he was about to fall asleep when he heard a loud noise right beside him. He looked and he saw a big piece of flesh. And as he was looking at it, he saw many more pieces of flesh tumbling down the cliff, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. And he kept looking all around, and the flesh pieces were falling onto the ground, one after the other, one after the other. He wondered what was happening. And that's when he remembered the story of the Diamond Valley. Now, the plan that these merchants had was when these big chunks of flesh fell from such great height would land on the valley with such force that the diamonds would stick on to the flesh. And then an eagle would sweep down, grab the piece of flesh and fly up and drop this flesh into the nest where the merchants would shoo away the eagles and take out the diamonds from the flesh. Wow. Quite a lot of thinking has actually gone into devising this plan. Don't you think so? Brilliant, actually. Anyway, so while Sindbad was thinking about this, उसके मन में एक विचार आया. उसने झट से सारे हीरे जवाहरात इकट्ठे किए, अपने पॉकेट में भर दिया और एक बड़ा सा मांस का टुकड़ा उठाया और अपने स्कार्फ के जरिए उसको अपने पीठ पे बांध दिया और वो लेट गया मुंह के बल जमीन पर, इस उम्मीद में that an eagle will come, sweep down, take the piece of flesh and take him along with it. And just as he expected, an eagle swooped down, picked up the piece of flesh and flew up, carrying Sindbad along with it and placed him in its nest. Sindbad was happy that his plan had actually worked just the way he wanted it to. So he got up, he took off his scarf and he took out the meat and he placed it in the nest. And he could see some merchants coming from far away. वो चिल्लाते हुए आ रहे थे, उनके हाथों में डंडियां थीं. They were trying to shoo away the eagle. And the eagle obviously was scared and it flew away. Now there was just Sindbad in an eagle's nest with a lot of diamonds around it. अब जब वो व्यापारी घोंसले के पास पहुंचे तो घोंसले में सिंदबाद को देख के हैरान परेशान हो गए कि अब ये कौन आ गया और ये घोंसले में क्या कर रहा है। लेकिन इन सभी व्यापारियों के बीच में एक व्यापारी था जो सबसे ज्यादा गुस्सा था और वो सिंदबाद के साथ लड़ने लगा। बहुत लड़ाई के बाद सिंदबाद ने उससे बोला, इफ यू नो even a bit of the hardships that I have gone through to reach here, you would be a little more kind to me. But then soon Sindbad realized that each of these merchants had a nest assigned. And the nest that Sindbad was in belonged to that angry merchant. Now, his anger was justified, because he felt he would have to share or part away with his prized possession. So he took out all the diamonds and offered it to the angry merchant. The merchant looked at the diamonds in Sindbad's hand and he picked one diamond from that. It wasn't the largest diamond, but it was the finest stone in the whole earth. The merchant was very happy, for he would now never have to work anymore to earn a living. Sindbad was equally happy because he could keep back all the diamonds, for he feared that he might have to just share it with all the other merchants, but he didn't have to do that. He went back with these merchants to their camp and stayed there for a while until they decided to head out to another place to continue their journey. And finally, one day they decided to leave that island and set out on their further journey. They sailed through the rough sea, they sailed through the smooth sea, and they sailed through many islands which had tall mountains with scary serpents and strange looking animals. And they finally reached the island of Rohat, the island which had the self-withering tree, the camphor tree, and the island which had the single-horned rhino, which, let me tell you, was actually bigger than a buffalo, but smaller than an elephant, and yet could pick up the elephant with its nose. Strange, isn't it? I wonder how it did that. I'm not exaggerating here, that's what Sindbad said. After a few days of staying on the island of Rohat, they decided to leave. And on the day that they were leaving, Sindbad exchanged one of his diamonds for many luxurious, wonderful goods. They loaded the ship with all the goods that they had traded, and they set out merrily on their return journey, singing, Hawa ke saath saath, घटा के संग संग, हवा के साथ साथ, घटा के संग संग, वो साथी चल, मुझे के साथ चल तू, ले हाथों में हाथ चल तू, यूं ही दिन रात चल तू, संभल जे जहाज चल तू, वो साथी चल, ला 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 La 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 la. ऐसे गाते बजाते मस्ती करते हुए they finally reached Baghdad. Sindbad got off his ship. He took all his wonderful earnings that he had earned from his journey, and he began walking back home with a decision to not go on any more voyage. He decided that this was going to be his last voyage and he was going to spend more time with his family. And saying that, Sindbad the Sailor ended his second voyage. When Sindbad the Sailor ended his story, the guests began to disperse. But Sindbad the Potter sat there staring at Sindbad the Sailor in awe and disbelief. He was in complete admiration of Sindbad the Sailor and the kind of adventure he had. Sindbad the Sailor took out another bag of gold, and he walked up to Sindbad the Potter and he said, "No journey is easy, my friend. No journey is easy, potter or king. For the true journey is the one within. And here's some gold. So have no sorrow, for there awaits another voyage tomorrow." And he handed over the bag of gold to Sindbad the Potter.